Hello everyone and welcome to Wednesday. Remember yesterday when I said that today we would be talking about tabletop RPGs? Well, guess what? I lied to you. I didn't actually lie to you. In fact, I just forgot that today was the day they had a new Nintendo Direct. So, we're going to talk about the January 2015 Nintendo Direct. But I promise for you tabletop fans who are waiting for me to talk about it tomorrow, for sure. We'll talk about it tomorrow. But today there was a Nintendo Direct. It came out this morning. I slept in a little bit, so when I woke up, it had already come out, so I actually laid in bed and watched it. That was this morning. Now it's this evening. But luckily there's a website called She Attack, which actually made a bullet point list of all of the stuff in the Direct, so I can just go through this and give you my thoughts on stuff, because I had opinions on stuff. Let's start at the very top. So, new Fire Emblem for 3DS. Neat. I don't really have anything past that. I have not played. People always ask me, like, what Fire Emblem games have you played? Have you played any? The only one I've ever played was the first Fire Emblem that was released here in the States, which was for the Game Boy Advance, and I really liked it. And we own Awakening, and I've heard really amazing things about Awakening, but I have not played it yet. So, this new one looks good, but I haven't played Awakening, and I'm going to get to it at some point. But I liked what I played like 10 years ago. Puzzles and Dragons Z and Puzzles and Dragons Super Mario Edition 3DS Dual Pack. Looked kind of weird. Like, it's kind of neat melting together the genres of puzzle and RPG, but like it did not look that interesting to me. It wouldn't be something that that I would be interested in. Pokemon Shuffle. Now this was one that I was watching and I was like, oh my god, are you serious? Are you serious? What? Because they kind of snuck it in. I don't know if you guys caught it. Certainly you caught it. I expect more people on the internet to be talking about this. Nintendo essentially made Pokemon Candy Crush. You realize that, right? Like, in this Pokemon Shuffle game, it's a puzzle game, and like you have limited lives, and then you have to wait an amount of time to play again, or you can spend real money to play sooner. That's Candy Crush. Nintendo has essentially made, a mobile game in the vein of the mobile games. I thought that would not happen. That's the last place I would see for it to happen, and it's a little weird too, because like the target audience for, and I know someone will be mad that I said this, but the target audience for Nintendo products is children. Adults play them. I'm an adult. I play Nintendo products, and that's okay, but the target audience is children. It seems odd to me that a child would have, their Visa or MasterCard on file for the Nintendo 3DS, but they may. Their parents may have that in there so they can get games or whatever. That, to me, seems dangerous. Like, if a kid has that in their 3DS, it's not theirs. They're too young to have a card, but they have it in there so they can get titles or whatever with maybe their parents' permission, and they become, addicted to playing this Pokemon game. They could rack up payments. That just seems fairly irresponsible. Like, at least with the parents playing Candy Crush Saga on their phones, it's their own doggone fault. But with the kids, I mean, I guess it would still be the parents' fault for putting it on the phone or on the 3DS in the first place. But still, I don't know. That doesn't sit well with me. And also the fact, like, why did you do this? Like, I haven't played Pokemon. I think it's called Troze or something. I haven't played it, but I was reading a few things online, and a lot of people said that Pokemon Shuffle looked pretty much similar or identical to that game. It was just basically a free version. But I would much rather pay $5 for a game that never bugged me again for anything than play a free game that bugged me all of the time. Because all they're doing is trying to reach the 1% of the market who's going to go crazy and dump tons of money into it, and I don't like it. I mean, it may be good for business. It may be a good way to produce income for a company, but like, it's so sleazy. Like, kind of pisses me off that they did that. Anyway, next, Wii titles can now be directly downloaded to the Wii U, such as the Metroid trilogy. And they said Super Mario Galaxy 2 was coming. Oh, actually, that's out now. And then Punch-Out and Metroid Prime Trilogy are coming. And the MSRP on them is going to be $20, but when they come out for 1 week, they will be $10. So like right now, for the next week, Super Mario Galaxy 2 is $10. That is awesome. That is really cool. It's also expected. It's expected because it should be able to do that. The other thing and this also kind of upsets me, but you know, for forever they've said, well, you know, the Wii part of the Wii U is walled off, and there's no way we can do anything with. And I'm like, that's bullcrap. It's all software. You can make things work. There's no reason you can't make things work together. There's no reason you can't make a particular controller work with another controller. You can't tell me that it's impossible. That's ridiculous. But they're finally doing it, and they're finally bringing that functionality forward. Not if you have the disc, but if you download the game. So that's neat. I mean, I think it's cool. It's just it's also simultaneously very sad because they're putting effort into the Wii when I'm still wondering, like, where the crap are the N64 games? You know, the Virtual Console on the original Wii system is incredibly strong. There was some awesome stuff, some very rare stuff that was hard to find carts of. Just stuff that you don't see very often, and they brought all of these weird oddities over to the Virtual Console, and now not only do we not have those, we don't even have like staple stuff on the Wii U. We don't even have like, I don't think there's any N64 games at this time. I'm pretty sure there's nothing on there, and like they've done an okay job. Like they've brought out like the Game Boy Advance stuff, and now we have Wii stuff, but like they have so much to do. Like, what the heck? I'm so confused about what their plan is, and I say that, but in reality, I feel like there's not really a plan, and that inside of Nintendo, everything is run by chickens with no heads, and they're just running around doing this all the time. That's how I feel. Anyway, Wii games are going to be coming to the Virtual Console if we ever get more than 3. God only knows how Nintendo works. But some people have been wondering and speculating if that means that we could eventually see GameCube games, and the answer is yes. And the reason I know the answer is yes is because hackers have already done it. Hackers, or modders, or whatever you want to call them, nice gentlemen, have actually already got the Wii U to play the ISO files for GameCube games natively. There's no emulation needed whatsoever. It will just play them as if it was a Wii with, you know, the GameCube thing built in. Like, if you had an original Wii, you could put a GameCube game in the Wii and it would play, right? It works the exact same on the Wii U. This is something that exists now that you can do. It's been out for several months. I forget what the name of the thing is called, but it's just an exploit that you put on the Wii side of your Wii U, and you can't play GameCube discs, but if you rip them and take the ISOs and play them on the thing, you can do that. And it's amazing. And I've talked to a buddy, and they scale appropriately. Like, you know, if you play a Wii game on the Wii U, it'll play at 720 or 1080 or whatever. The GameCube games do the same thing, the ISO dumps. So, like, that being said, it's all possible. It is 100% possible. So it's kind of like a matter of time before they do that. So I highly suspect that Nintendo will do something with GameCube downloadable titles in the future. Anyway, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse looks good. I was a fan of Kirby and the Canvas Curse for DS back in the day. The Wii U gamepad is perfect for it, and I really love the look. Like, I really, really love the look. And I actually was wondering about the MSRP because today on, like, Best Buy site or something, I saw it online, you could, like, order the game. You could pre-order the game for, like, $35. And I was like, that's weird. Do they just, is the MSRP just going to be lower? Or, you know, was that just a weird error or something? Do they feel like it's not going to sell that well? I don't know. I mean, it may not sell very well because it's not a traditional Kirby game. It's not like you and a buddy are going to go through and suck all the enemies up. So maybe that's why they're a little worried about it. But anyway. The other cool thing, Amiibo functionality is coming with Kirby and the Canvas Curse. So if you use Kirby, King Dedede, or Meta Knight, it does special stuff for Kirby, which is neat. And then leading into that, new wave of Super Smash Bros. Amiibo, such as Charizard, Pac-Man, and Ness. Finally, the Ness Amiibo. I'm super excited about that. Mal got her Peach Amiibo on launch, because of course it was going to be available on launch. I've been waiting for the Ness one, and we now have a date of spring. I don't think they've clarified any further than that, but spring. And I will find one of those. I will find maybe 2. Maybe we'll get 2. Maybe just 1. I don't know. New Super Mario series of Amiibo will be released alongside Mario Party 10. And there's going to be a new mode in Mario Party 10 where you play it with Amiibo. You know, interesting. And there's also a special Amiibo bundle that comes with Mario Party 10 where it comes with like the Mario thing. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker will be compatible with the Toad Amiibo. So there's a lot of Amiibo stuff, and that's really good. Like on one hand, as a consumer who is not interested in Amiibo, because I'm really not. Like I'm not collecting them. Mal wanted the Peach one, and I'm gonna get, you know, Ness, but like I'm not into collecting them or even using them. But I still think they're cool. I still think they're really neat, and it's cool to see the idea of Skylanders or whatever taken to something that at least I can more closely identify with, which is, you know, Nintendo characters. But it's really neat that they're doing so much with it, because Nintendo has a terrible history of doing peripherals and then doing jack with them. You know, they will come out with something, some sort of attachment or whatever add-on, and then, you know, there's like 2 or 3 games that utilize it, if that many, and then it's never heard of again. So it's really neat that not only are they doing something with the Amiibos, with upcoming titles, they're actually going back and patching in additional content. That is cool. That they got to get props for that, because that is really neat. So they're doing that with Captain Toad, and then I'm actually going to jump down ahead here. I hope it's on here, but it doesn't look like it's on here, which is weird. They should have listed this. But Super Smash Brothers for the new 3DS, the new Nintendo 3DS, will actually support Amiibos. So that's going to be patched in also. So the fact that they're going back and patching that kind of stuff in is like really, really cool. That's noteworthy. Moving forward, they talked about Splatoon, which is going to be available in May. They had shown that back, I think, even as early as E3. I mean, it actually does look pretty good. It does look pretty good, looks pretty interesting, but it's just not a game that I would pay $60 for. And from what I understand, it's not an eShop game. Like, it's a legit, you know, on-the-shelf game. I could not see myself paying for it. I said that whenever I first talked about this at, like I said, I think it was E3, that it looked like a game that I would pay about $15 for on Steam. And that stands. I mean, there's a lot more to show for it, and it does look interesting, but like, the Wii U, admittedly, is just never going to be a multiplayer thing for me, like ever. I know so few people with a Wii U, so few people who are interested in a Wii U. When people talk about gaming consoles, there are, in most people's minds, 2 gaming consoles. There's PlayStation and Xbox. The Nintendo is kind of like a side thought. You're either one of those people that are going to buy the new Nintendo system, or you're one of those people that don't even remember Nintendo is around. Like, it's just kind of that thing. And unfortunately, most of my friends don't have Wii U's. But even if they did, like, Splatoon does not really... It like I said, if it was on Steam, I would probably play it. And my friends and I would probably all get it. I might play a little bit of it. But anyway, Hyrule Warriors DLC. It's cool that they're doing, from what I understand, I haven't played it, but meaningful DLC, because I know there's some other DLC packs, and from what I've seen, people tend to like what they're doing with it. Still haven't played Hyrule Warriors myself, though. Xenoblade Chronicles X trailer came out. There's a new one. Arguably, I haven't been keeping up with the new Xenoblade Chronicles like a ton, but I have seen some stuff for it. Actually, when we visited Emil, he showed us some stuff for it, and he was talking about how some people had been really analyzing all of the different trailers and stuff, and it has not excited me like in the least bit up to this point. I mean, it's just been like, okay, you know, it's a game, and it's got the same title as the other one that, you know, people really enjoyed, but this particular trailer looked good. I mean, and it wasn't really anything special, really. It was just people traveling around the worlds, but that looked awesome. I mean, just the variety of places that the party was going, the different locales and the different colors, different environments. Like, I don't know, it looked really interesting, and it still not enough to entice me to, like, you know, jump into it, because I still have not played the original Xenoblade Chronicles, but maybe I'll get a chance with one of the things that we're coming up with soon. I'm going to skip out on a few things, because Mario vs. Donkey Kong is no interest to me. Although, actually, I am going to take a minute to talk about this, because I'm going to rip Nintendo a little bit for this. One of the well, I'm going to praise them and rip them at the same time. So they're coming out with a new Mario vs. Donkey Kong game, which is neat. I played a little bit of one of them. I don't remember which one, but it was a long time ago. But it was fun. And they've made a few, so people enjoy them. It's coming out on both the 3DS and the Wii U. And they said if you buy one on one system, you get to play it on the other. Good. Good. It should be like that. And I wanted to take a moment here to say that, you know, give them a little praise for doing that. But also, when you look back at the Virtual Console and the fact that many of you owned a Wii and bought Virtual Console games, and then you bought a Wii U, and Nintendo said, hey, you want to play those games that you already paid for? You can get them on sale. Like, they made you pay for the games again. I think that going forward, it would be awesome. I don't think Nintendo will do this, but I think it would be awesome if you had a Nintendo account, you know, your Miiverse account or whatever it is. What do they call it? They have actual accounts, like Nintendo accounts. So, I don't know, whatever. So when you bought something, it worked across all of your devices. This is not a crazy, crazy thing. Steam has been doing this forever. And PlayStation does this too. You can buy a PlayStation Classic game, essentially a Virtual Console game, on your PlayStation 3, and when you're ready to head out the door, you can pick up your PlayStation Vita, in some cases your PSP, and play it on there. It doesn't cost you extra. You bought the game. You're the one playing it. Like, why can't you just play it across your devices? So, yeah, I give them a thumbs up for doing that for the Mario vs. Donkey Kong thing, but like, this is something that should exist across the board on a lot of their different products. But especially Virtual Console. You should be able to buy a game one freaking time. You should be able to buy Earthbound for $10 or $15 or however much it costs on the Wii U, and then play it on your freaking 3DS. You should be able to do these things. Anyway, moving forward. A bunch of new downloadable content. One thing worth noting is Citizens of Earth, which had a hard time getting off the ground, but is heavily inspired by Earthbound. Have not played it myself. Heard good things about it, so if you like Earthbound, maybe look into Citizens of Earth. Fossil Fighters, Frontier. Okay, and then the new 3DS, which Japan has had for a little bit now, I believe. New 3DS is coming February 13th. It features 2 new shoulder buttons and a C stick, well, more like a C knob, kind of like a little dingy thing. And then it's got face tracking technology, so like when you're playing in 3D, which almost everyone I know that has a 3DS at this point does not play with 3D because it's annoying. It will now track your face, so if you move the camera, which I can actually do like this, it will continue to be in 3D, because with the original 3DS there has to be a sweet spot, and that kind of sucked. It's also got a better processor and better battery life, and it's just all around better, so games will boot faster and things like that. Also, because the new Nintendo 3DS will have all of this additional power, they are making games that will be exclusively for the new system, meaning if you have an older normal 3DS, it will not run on the system. The only game I know of that I knew that they were talking about during this thing was Xenoblade Chronicles. They are porting it to the new Nintendo 3DS, which is really nifty, because I probably am far more likely to play it on that system, which I don't own or plan on buying, because it's portable, and I always do a lot better for long-term games, like long-term RPGs, on a portable. There were some classic Super Nintendo RPGs that I wanted to work through in high school, and I did a lot better putting them on my modded PSP and playing through them on the go when I could, as opposed to sitting down at home and trying to play them. So I think Xenoblade Chronicles on a portable is a good fit. Xenoblade Chronicles 3D is coming out in May, and the new 3DS is coming out February. I actually don't know what other games are exclusively for the new system, but they're not really trying to spin it that way. They're not really trying to spin it in such a way like, hey, get this new system because there are new games. They're just saying, hey, get this new system because you can do stuff in older games because of the C-Stick. So like in Resident Evil, whatever it was for the 3DS, the 3DS Resident Evil used the C-Stick. So in order to do that, you had to have that big thing that the 3DS fit into, the Circle Pad Pro, and now if you have the new 3DS, the C-Stick is essentially a Circle Pad Pro. So there's that functionality, the battery life is longer, etc., etc. Basically, if you have not somehow gotten a 3DS up to this point, there's not a reason to get a 3DS. You should get the new 3DS because it's everything and more or less. As for like upgrading though, I don't think that I'm in the market for a new one because it really doesn't do that much different. I mean, you can play Xenoblade, but otherwise. Let's see. Codename Steam is interesting. Like, it looks pretty interesting. Also, continue to applaud them on trying to push Amiibo functionality and things, because you can scan the Fire Emblem Amiibos and put it in there. A weird choice, but still interesting. Some other random games I don't care too much about. And then finally, Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask 3D is coming out, and if you have the new 3DS, you have full 360-degree camera control with the C-Stick, which is actually kind of lame. It's actually kind of lame, because that means if you don't have the new one, you can't see around corners. Good luck, everyone. Everyone that plays on the new Nintendo 3DS will have that advantage. Still, I don't know if I talked a little bit about Majora's Mask in a dedicated vlog, but I'm excited for that. In fact, I pre-ordered it. I actually pre-ordered... I haven't pre-ordered a game in forever, but the special edition bundle with the miniature thing, I knew that would be hard to come by, and it just so happened that I was on the internet at the right time where they were still in stock, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get this thing. So I got it. So I don't know when I will, but I will play through Majora's Mask 3D. So I actually already got that on the way. They also announced that there was going to be they call it a bundle, but I don't know why they called it a bundle. It's a Majora's Mask themed new Nintendo 3DS, which, to my knowledge, and after looking up a little bit about it, it doesn't seem that it actually comes with the game. It doesn't come with the game. Oh, and one other thing I was pissed about, and not on this list, but I remember suddenly. The new Nintendo 3DSs don't come with a power cable. What? Like, that's so ridiculous. And I know that they say, well, you can use your old power cable. Okay, great, but what if you are new to Nintendo 3DS? In my opinion, this is the perfect purchase for someone who doesn't yet have a 3DS. If you have been holding out on getting a handheld, this is going to be the one for you. And then in addition to paying whatever it is, I don't know how much they're gonna cost, probably $200 or close to $200. You're gonna have to shell out another $10 or $15 for an AC adapter that you don't yet own. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. The manufacturing costs can't be that high. They can't be that high. I don't know why Nintendo did that. Like, there's some other companies that have done that, where you need something and they don't give it to you, or they'll give you like one to hook it up to your computer. So they'll give you like a USB cable, and you're like, I don't want that crap. Like, I want to hook it up to the wall. Anyway, so that is my entire Nintendo Direct January 2015 report. Looking over all the news, I'm most excited for the NES Amiibo. I mean, that's what I'm most excited for. Like I said, I did pre-order Majora's Mask. I am excited about that. I just don't know when I'm going to have time to play through it, and I want to make sure that I can sit down and take it all in, and I don't know when that's going to happen. But I am happy that I did order a copy of it, and there was a brief moment in time earlier where I had seen that the pre-orders for this Majora's Mask new Nintendo 3DS was up. Like, there was a button I could click to pre-order it, and for a moment in time I was like, I could do that, but I don't need one. I just don't need one. I'm sure they'll probably shoot up in value like crazy. I bet scalpers have already bought 1 million of them, which is a shame, because there's people out there like you guys that probably really want one and can't get one now. But they were $200, and I was like, I don't really want one of these, so I'll just wait. Anyway, so yeah, those are my thoughts on the Nintendo Direct. If you haven't seen it, I will put a link to it down below. I think it was about 45 minutes to an hour. It was a live video, so it looks like it's like 2 hours or something, but it's really not. It's less than an hour long, so you can check that out if you get a chance. But those are all of my thoughts on it. Tell me if you agree with me or disagree with me, or if there was things in the Direct that you liked or didn't like, and I guess more or less the overall direction. How you feel about the overall direction that Nintendo was going. They've done good, they've done bad. There's some things that I give thumbs up to, there's some things I wag my finger at, but overall, I think they're doing well. I really do. And I continue to like these Nintendo Directs. I think it's a good way to connect with us as a consumer, and also remind us about stuff, because we forget. E3 happens one time a year. That's not often enough. So These Nintendo Directs are good. It'd be cool if you know, the other companies could do that. I don't know if they have enough coming out that they could do that, but it'd be nice if they tried. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and all of you tabletop fans, tomorrow. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Let's meet back tomorrow, shall we? Yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday. It is Tuesday, right?
Yes.
Just wanted to check.
Screw it, baby. Screw it. Oh! No! I'm gonna hit the other air vent, ain't I? I hope I do. Oh, I'm rolling off.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my god.